let me just say at the outset, we really want to do any and everything all of us can do to advance it, including in this new administration. I just want to say at the outset that given, all of our country's challenges, it's just been remarkable how it's all come all at once, that service learning would, as you all know, help produce a nation of problem solvers, and social and emotional learning, the resilience and empathy to work together across politics, race, ethnicity, faith, background, and given our divisions in the country, needlessly so, looking at one another through the lens of a common humanity and not stigmatizing and othering people is a skill young people can learn and cultivate in school. So there's so much power in listening, and we were thrilled to work with the Allstate team and Heart Research, conducted 2 nationally representative surveys, one of parents, one of teachers, on their views of social emotional learning and service learning, and how they saw their value to young people, and whether they were actually found in classrooms and schools across the country. We actually conducted these surveys, before the 3 big crises hit: the COVID pandemic, the cruel death of George Floyd, and the remarkable January 6th threat to our democracy itself. So we also cycled back in partnership with Allstate to survey and talk to parents and teachers after these crises. And we even saw stronger support for SEL and service learning as powerful ways to empower students, develop resilience, cope with trauma, anxiety, stress, depression, isolation, prepare them for their futures, and even help heal the nation. So the groundswell was really just overwhelming. Our top findings: parents and teachers strongly support a holistic view of education that puts social and emotional learning, service learning at the center of the educational enterprise across all socioeconomic status and racial and ethnic diversity. Almost all parents, literally like 90% or more, 9 out of 10, want their children to develop good character, have great integrity, find human happiness, even more than getting a good job or preparing for college. Students of low-income families felt this the most. So the families of our most vulnerable students see how powerful this work is. Most teachers believe that SEL and service learning are actually not only a success in school, but later in life. I was on this National Commission on Social, Emotional, and Academic Development. Dr. Patricia Kuhl of the Institute of Learning and Brain Science presented to us in our first round and told us that students and all adults have a social gate to learning. And of course, SEL skills and the interaction with extraordinary teachers like Anna Edlund and the wonderful students across the country are the kind of skills we have to cultivate. And of course, employers are demanding in their workforce that they're often not getting. The other thing that's interesting is parents and teachers see that SEL and service learning are mutually reinforcing. These aren't just separate enterprises. Both groups believe that if you engage young people in service learning programs, I had the opportunity when I was in early high school, it changed my life actually, I think about it a lot, would help improve students' social and emotional skills, particularly their ability to understand and get along with people who are different from them. And when you think of the divisions in our country by politics and race and ethnicity and faith and lack of trust at historically high levels, it strikes us that SEL and service learning are really laying the foundation for a greater sense of we. Someone proposed an UNUM test the other day, and I think SEL and service learning should be a key part of the E pluribus unum test. 85% of parents, 95% of teachers believe a focus on SEL would have a major benefit in cultivating good citizens. We often talk about academic progress. We often talk about getting a good job, being prepared for a good job. But we don't talk enough about the civic lives of Americans and how we can play a role in strengthening our country. I'll just end with this, Francie. 15 years ago, we did the first national survey of students who had made this extraordinary decision to drop out of high school. And all over the country, big towns like Los Angeles, small towns like St. Clairsville, Ohio. And their top answer when we asked them, and by the way, when we talked to these students, it's extraordinary potential. They wanted to be doctors and nurses and astrophysicists and professional athletes and teachers, and yet their dreams were cut short. And when we asked them, what would have actually helped keep you in school? Their top answer was effectively service learning, making courses relevant in life with real world service experiences to apply their knowledge. And this one girl, Monique in Philadelphia, wanted to be an astrophysicist. She talked about her best day. She quoted the letter from a Birmingham jail written by Martin Luther King eloquently, connected that to her service learning project in Philadelphia, but tragically didn't have enough days like that and left school early. So I think it's a way to keep young people engaged, cope with these crises, and emerge a better nation.